All right, let's get over to Kimberly Eaton. She has been driving around in Mobile 13, having a blast out there today. Hey, Kim.
You know every corner of Howard County by now, don't you, Kimberly?
We've been all around Howard County and then all around it again at this point. And guys, it's really actually hard to believe that this has only been one day because, well, let me just show you what 29 looks like, okay? So when we started out this morning, this road was completely clear. Then a couple hours ago, it was covered in snow. And by covered, I mean covered, like inches of snow. And now it's totally clear again. So this is just changing every time we kind of go down a route again. It looks totally different. Hard to believe that this has all happened in just the last few hours. So again, this is 29 South. We're headed toward Columbia Town Center, and this highway is in really good shape right now, but I cannot stress this enough. Not every street looks like that, so keep that in mind if you do need to venture out. Now we're heading towards Columbia Town Center. That is where we saw a lot of problems earlier on today. We saw a lot of cars spin out. In fact, we saw some cars driving. They got stuck in the very lane they were driving in. So that's how bad it was. And now as we circle back around the county, we're starting to see just some of those cars abandoned on the side of the street. Clearly those drivers got out safely, got to somewhere warm, but still a little bit of a mess. So cleanup is not over, both for the streets and for those cars that are still kind of stuck in park on the sides of some of these streets that were hit pretty hard. So we're going to keep circling around here. We're heading back towards Columbia Town Center. You can see some of the off ramps here still a little bit more frozen than some of the main streets. That's the same story for bridges. So we're going to keep circling around and kind of retracing our steps to get a feel for what all these different roads look like now. That could, of course, change again later. We're still waiting to see what's going to happen with that. But for now, Rick and Denise, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Kimberly. All right, now I believe we have on the phone Barry Glassman, Harford County Executive. Are you there, Barry?
Barry, can you hear us? You there?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Now we hear you as well.
There you go. Barry, how you doing up there?
Good, Rick. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Take us through some of the conditions that you guys have been seeing. Has it been bad over the past couple of hours?
Well, we did get that burst of snow from, say, 10 to about 12:30, and so we got 3 to 4 inches really quickly. I was just out. I'm up at our Emergency Operations Center. We did have a lot of cars off of the road, but it looks like it's starting to warm, and right now we don't have anything, maybe a few sprinkles of rain, but it stopped snowing, and so the state highway and my county folks are kind of in a pushing operation now to begin to clear that 3 to 4 inches that are on some of the roadways.
You have particular challenges in Harford County, I would think, because you have so many rural areas. We keep talking about the side roads. You got a lot of side roads out there that are going to be difficult to get to.
We have 1,000 miles of back roads that we have to get to. Now, we salted them all last night and early this morning, but so I'm resting my crews up, and as soon as it kind of begins to switch to rain, my folks are going to go out and kind of push and clear these side roads and back roads all night probably until the rain really helps us out, and we should be good to go by morning. We've got to clean some storm drains and some drainage areas to make sure we don't get some flooding when the weather warms, and it looks like it's beginning to warm up here now.
Barry, we've done a lot of stuff with you guys over the years. I've been in Harford County countless times. I know you have tons of pieces of equipment out there. Can you take us through some of the numbers? You guys have been full force, for lack of better words.
I've got 140 trucks out, a full complement of pickup trucks. We added brine last year, so for the last 2 days we put down a good coat of brine, and that seems to have helped on some of the back roads, at least to that'll help us to push them off here quickly. You know, I budget about $2.3 million for snow removal, and we've spent about half of it this year so far, not counting this storm. So as we get through February, I'm hoping that you know, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's actually good news that you've only had to use half of it. That's helpful.
We've done pretty well. You figure, I always count that Valentine's week as when we in the county, it seems like we've always had a big blizzard or really big snow. Last week we had that slush event, but these kind of events aren't too bad. I always like, you know, they're at the middle of the week, so I don't have to pay overtime. They're not on they're not on a holiday where I pay double time. So I love a midweek storm.
You guys have had a little bit of everything over the years. You're
There's
used to
perspective.
it, for sure.
County executive perspective.
Barry, we always appreciate your time, man. I know you and the office, huge JZ fans, so we always appreciate you watching.
Right.
Tell everybody we said hello, for sure.
Okay, thank you. Stay safe.
All right, thank you very much, Barry Glassman from Harford
Great
County
guy.
there. We're going back to Devon now in Baltimore County, where I know that the snow has stopped, Devon, but I don't know if you've been able to listen to Tim at all, but he's been talking about how we're now going to make that switch to the sleet and then eventually to rain as the temperatures go up. None of that's happening there yet, though, eh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we know that it's coming, but so far, none of it here. There's just a few tiny flakes kind of flurrying around here, but no hardcore precipitation here. We are getting a break, and it is really, really helping us out. Now, yesterday, the State Highway Administration told us that they were counting on road temperatures and the sun to help them out in this effort, and we are seeing that here. If you look behind us, this is Dumbarton Road here. Look how clear that is already. We've only been without snow for probably about an hour now, and it's already totally clear. You can see somebody out there shoveling her walkway. We had a bobcat out here a little bit ago, also clearing some more of these side roads. So you can see that it's wet, it's slushy. Not to say that that cannot refreeze and turn to ice later, but right now, for the most part, these roadways are clear, really, really being helped out by some of those road temperatures throughout the area and the fact that we are getting this break. Now, what's to happen next? We're going to have to wait and see. So far, everyone has told us that Baltimore County was prepared for this event. They knew what was coming. They knew this was going to be a mix. So we're just going to have to kind of wait and see what happens when that rain starts to fall. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Devin. And now we're going to Mike Helgren. He is in the WJZ Mobile Weather Lab in Carroll County. Mike?
We still are, and what really strikes me here is on Westminster Pike just how generally clear it is right now. I mean, they did a really good job getting this down to bare pavement after all the snow we've had, and it was really snowing hard here earlier today. And just to look out at what we're seeing here in the Westminster area. We're going to take you into downtown Westminster in just a moment when this light turns, but there are still some active crashes right now, including on 83 York Road, and also 795 Owings Mills Boulevard. All lanes are closed according to the Maryland State Highway Administration. So they're still working some active crashes even though the snow stopped falling in this general area. It's still a bit dangerous out, and there's some sleet that's starting to fall, and we're seeing some of that precipitation here right now. So we've started to see that changeover. We've been out here all day. I would say it started to snow maybe a little bit before 9 o'clock this morning, and that snow was coming down at more than an inch an hour here. And we saw a lot of plows coming through, state highway crews really trying to keep the main roads clear. We were trying to show you a few moments ago some of the side streets. And, you know, those were not quite as clear, especially in some of the rural areas that we see here in Carroll County. So if you have a regular sedan, you might, want to wait till you venture out. And we actually saw a BGE truck because, they're on standby because there could be icy situations later on tonight. It's still cold out here, still wet out here. It's just a nasty, nasty day. We've been waiting at this traffic light here. But again, this is Westminster Pike. Not a ton of traffic out here, but what is out here right now is flowing smoothly despite crashes in other areas. I mean, state police responding to more than 300 calls for service just today. And we're going to take you right here now onto some of those side streets as we go toward downtown Westminster. Actually, this isn't that bad either because they've been working constantly, throughout the day, trying to make sure that these streets are clear. We're passing by the government offices here in Carroll County, and you can see it actually looks pretty good. So it's good to be cautious when you're heading out, if you head out, but also, what we're seeing on those main roads is thumbs up right here into all the work that the crews have been doing here throughout the day.